I'm Isabella Puccio with Wolf TV, and we're here today at the Hill Auditorium, hours before the Ann Arbor Folk Festival, interviewing administration and artists on their process. The Ark is a nonprofit music venue located in downtown Ann Arbor. This year, the Ark hosts its 49th annual Folk Festival at Hill Auditorium. The festival has hosted big music names in the industry to present a musical experience unlike any other in the area. This year's artists include Amos Lee, Doss, the Crane Wives, Rabbitology, and many more. A great event for the community and art scene in Ann Arbor. I spoke with some of the facilitators of the event and a few of the artists to learn more. So what is your name and your role in organizing this event?
My name is Melissa McKinney. I am the digital media strategist here at the Ark. So I'm the one that's in charge of all of our social media management, all of our Google ads, basically trying to get people into the venue.
My name is Michael Lippert. I'm the house manager for the Ark, and so I wear two hats at the Ark. I'm the volunteer manager. We have over 100 volunteers here putting on the Folk Festival, and I manage all the shows at the Ark. Here today we're at Hill Auditorium, so kind of managing all the merch set up front and helping all the patrons have a great experience when they come to the show.
Can you tell us a little bit about the Folk Festival?
Yeah, absolutely. So we're celebrating our 49th Ann Arbor Folk Festival this weekend. And so the very first Ann Arbor Folk Festival was put together to raise funds to keep the Ark going. And now, nearly 50 years later, we're still here, and it's still our biggest fundraiser of the year. So an incredible weekend.
This is where we get a lot of our funds. The Ark is a nonprofit, so we really try to push that into the community, to keep live music, alive and thriving within Ann Arbor.
So what are some of the challenges faced when planning something like this?
Yeah, it's a great question. So at the Ark, we put on 300 shows a year, so it's like we're used to this, but it's also for 400 people, and it's kind of our main space. You're just comfortable, you know how things work. For Folk Festival, we try to get as many people to come as possible. It's a bigger community event for people all over Ann Arbor and Michigan, so we're off-site. So it's just moving pieces all around town to get everything here set up, backstage, front of house, and just in a space that you're not familiar with. That's kind of the biggest thing.
Ticket sales right now, live music, live events in general is experiencing just a huge shift since COVID. So the independent music scene has been struggling a lot, and it has affected a lot of venues across the United States and across the world. So those are just some of the challenges that we have really been trying to navigate.
What is your hope for the future of this event?
So my hope is for the Ark for the next 60 years, especially being a strategist, is that we continue to expand our audience to new audiences. So we're looking to continue to see a growth in our space with more diverse audience members, younger audience members, really sharing the beauty of folk music, that folk music is not just for just older people or for an older crowd. Folk music is music for the people, and every genre of music has its roots, its foundation in folk music. So I'm looking forward to just continuing to just grow our presence within the community and really reach other markets to continue for another 60 years.
20 years ago when I was a student, I came to this event, but you look around, there's not that many students. And so we talk a lot about when the Ark was started, we were known as the folk venue. And folk has a long history. Folk's been around for hundreds of years. Music's been passed down through generations. That's the idea of folk. I think it's really important to bring in new generations of folk, or of music fans. And so for us, that's thinking about like how folk evolved. So there are other genres here. Maybe it's not all acoustic music, singer-songwriters like it was at some point, but I think that's really healthy, and I'd like to see all the different generations in the house tonight. I think that's really special.
Why is the Folk Festival important to the Ann Arbor community?
Yeah, I personally feel like Ann Arbor has such like an incredible history and historically of like people coming together to peacefully gather and have a great time and question what's happening in the world.
The Ark is ran primarily by volunteers. We keep our doors open through donations and memberships. So with just being a nonprofit, it's just super important that we continue to be able to have people that are supporting our venue. Artists are able to come together and share their music, whether they're emerging artists or whether they're big artists. It's a place for people to be able to discover new music, new sounds, new artists, to add to your musical collection. And it's also a fun way that we bridge the community together here in Ann Arbor. One of the initiatives that I've been working on is actually working on bridging our relationship with University of Michigan students. Since we were founded with U of M students, we have started a digital media street team. So we're always looking for students who are looking to volunteer, do our posters, help with social media, things like that. So it's all about the community. It's all about keeping music thriving.
What's your name, and tell us a little bit about your music?
Yeah, so I'm known as Rabbitology, and I make folktronica music, so I combine elements of electronica and folk to make a weird little mix in between everything. I'm a student, yeah, so it's been really weird to be on campus performing, because I've had my music journey, here.
I'm Dan.
I'm Emily.
My name is Kate.
And I'm Ben.
We met at Grand Valley in 2010, and kind of after we were mostly graduating, we started playing instruments together, and we're a band. It's called the Crane Wives.
We started off as an acoustic folk band with 5 members and a banjo player, but over the years we kind of shifted more towards a rock pop direction. So it's really exciting to be included still in the Folk Fest. I feel like our songwriting has a lot of folk roots, so it's nice to be acknowledged.
What inspires you guys musically?
Obviously tons of different bands and films and books, and it just kind of all gets amalgamationed into what's actually influencing you when you're thinking about how to write a part or write a song.
My environment around me, so whatever makes noise, I can try to make a sound out of it, and so it's just existing in the world and kind of communicating back to it, I guess.
So what advice do you have for young musicians?
Yeah, I think there's a pressure to know what you're doing right off the bat and to always know what you're doing. But growing up, my goal was just to make things, and that ended up being music. So I think don't hold yourself to a standard of, I have to do this, this, and this. Instead, let your creative spirit kind of be free.
Just remember that art really does matter. It's very important that we have art.
And it's not a competition either. There's no winning music. There's no winning art. So just make what you like, and the right people will find you.
We work on developing their voice, and part of that includes just learning how to love yourself, and instead of trying to be someone else, figure out who you are and what you have to say.
I would suggest to any musician to find some people that you enjoy playing with and just goof around, have fun, make mistakes, and if it sounds good, that's an added bonus.
Why is the Folk Festival so important to you guys?
I think this year is particularly important because we played the Folk Festival in 2014. We were the opener of the opener of the opener. It's like a celebration of how far we've come to come back to the festival and perform again.
It just feels great to be a part of the Michigan music community still. I feel like we've played here a lot less as our audience has changed and shifted. We've been touring out more, been overseas and in spaces that are international, and so it's just really nice to be able to come home and play to basically what feels like a hometown audience.
I think folk music is all about accessibility. Anyone can be a folk artist, and I think it's important to me because my folk music isn't quite the definition of what you think of when you make folk, and I'm hoping that by performing I can show younger artists that there's other ways to go about making music that's accessible. So, yeah.
The ARC's mission is to enrich the human spirit. And I think we get to do that all weekend, and that we come together, have incredible music, and think about what's going on, and that's important for the world right now.
Thank you so much to the artist and administration for talking with us today. Once again, I'm Isabella Puccio with Wolf TV. Thank you so much for watching.